Hello guys, today we will study about consumer constant choice. What is consumer constant choice? Let's see in the video.
Hello, my name is Benziani. Today I'm going to talking about the topic of presentation is a consumer strength choice. So I'm going to start with the model of consumer behavior. So we use the model to look at the individual decision making when faced with limit income and market determined price. We base our model of consumer behavior on three premises. The first one, individual taste or preference determine the amount of pleasure people derive from the goods and service they consume. The second one, consumer face constraint or limits on their choice. And the last one, consumer maximize their well-being or pleasure from consumption subject to the budget on and other constraints they face. And the next topic I'm going to talk about importance of understanding the concept. Economic decision making by comprehending the factor that shape consumer choice. Business can develop effective strategy to cater to their target market. Consumer welfare by considering consumer constraint, policymakers can design better policy that protect and enhance the overall welfare of individuals. And market competition. Understanding constraint choice helps business gain a competitive edge by offering products and services that align with consumer preference and affordability. So the consumer spend their money on the bundle of products that give them the most pleasure. So the next topic I will talk about is preference. We will start our analysis of consumer behavior by examining consumer preference. Use three assumptions. Understanding taste. Consumer preference encompass subject opinions like and dislike which shape their ultimate decision-making process. Social influence. Consumer preference can also be influenced by societal trend, cultural value, and peer pressure, changing over time. Preferences are not fixed. They evolve as consumers grow, experience new things, and adapt to societal change. So, the property of consumer preference. The first one, completeness. Consumer preferences are assumed to be complete, meaning that for any given pair of alternative choice, a consumer can express a definite preference. The second one, transitivity. If a consumer prefer option A to option B and prefer option B to option C, it means they must prefer option A to the option C. The last one, more is better. As a general rule, consumers prefer more of good or service over less, given all the factors remain constrained. And the next topic, preference map. With just these three properties, we can tell a lot about a consumer's preference. One of simplest way to summarize information about consumer preference to create a graphical interpretation, a map of them. Let me use this picture to explain this. In picture A, the consumer prefer more to less, so consumer prefer bundle E to any bundle in area B, including D. Similarly, they prefer any bundle in area A, such as F2E and B. We can see that indifferent curve I1 shows a set of bundle among which consumer is indifferent. And the last one, we can see the three different curves I1, I2 and I3 are parts of consumer preference map which summarize consumer preference. So the next topic is indifferent curve. Indifferent curve is the set of a bundle of goods that a consumer view as being equally desirable, which is a complete set of indifferent curves that summarize a consumer taste. We call it a map because it uses the same principle as a topographical or contour map, in which each line shows all points with the same height or elevation. So, all curve maps must have 5 important properties. The first one, bundles on indifferent curve farther from the origin are preferred to those on indifferent curve closer to origin. 2. Every bundle lies on an indifferent curve. 3. Indifferent curve cannot cross. 4. Indifferent curve slope downward. 5. Indifferent curve cannot be thick. So let me use this picture to explain more. Picture A, crossing. Suppose that indifferent curve cross at bundle E. The consumer is indifferent between E and A on indifferent curve I0 and between E and B on I1. So, if the consumer is indifferent between E and A, consumer is indifferent between E and B. Consumer must be different between A and B due to transitivity, but B has more of both than A. So, they must prefer A to B because of the contradiction. Indifferent curve cannot cross. And the second picture, upward slope. Suppose that indifferent curve I slope upward. The consumer is indifferent between B and A because they lie on I, but prefer B to A by the more is better assumption. Because of this contradiction in different curve cannot be upward slope. And the last one, thick. Suppose that in different curve is thick enough to contain both A and B. The consumer is indifferent between A and B because both are on I. However, the consumer prefer B to A by more is better assumption because B lie above and to the right
Hi,
of
my
A.
name is Panata Nalong.
Because of
My
this
student ID is
contradiction
320.
in different curve cannot to be thick.
And then we will talk about utility. So economic apply the term utility to this set of numerical value that reflect the relative ranking of various bundle of goods. In the example, you can see abundant A, we have 3 apple and 1 phone. And in abundant B, we have 6 apple and 2 phone. So at abundant B, this one will bring more specific. Or we can say she prefers B to A. Or in another way, we can say utility consume B more than utility consume A. Just notice we don't have number but we can rank which one is better. Utility function is relationship between utility measure and every possible bundle of goods. A common utility function is Kapdaglat. Thus it U equal to X over alpha plus Y over beta. And then we will talk about willingness to substitute between goods. How willingness a consumer is to trade one good to another good is depend on the slope of the consumer indifferent curve. The consumer individual bundle of a good. Economists call the slope at a point on the indifference curve the marginal rate of substitution or MRS because it is the maximum amount of the good that a consumer will trade to obtain one more unit to another good. So how do we know how much she needs to substitute X for Y? We can see in the graph. Let's see, if we buy less Y, then can substitute more X. You can see that point A slope is equal to dy over dx is equal to MRS. As point A, we have y1 and x1 and MRS is equal to minus 2. So it means she would take 2y for 1x. And then it's point B. You can see slope is flatter. So we have y2 and x2. MRS is equal to minus 0.5. It means she will take 1y for 2x. Type of utility curve, you can see in the first one, shape is straight line, so slope is constant. It's easy to substitute for one good to another good. We call perfect substitutes. And then second, you see in the L shape, we call perfect complement. It's difficult to substitute. That utility will depend on how much I combine good with another good. In the third, you can see it's bowl shape. We call convex indifference curve. What is difference function form? Let's see. First one, perfect substitute. You can see utility is equal to alpha times x plus beta times y. In this case, MRS is equal to alpha over beta, slope is constant. And second, perfect complement. The function form is different. Utility is equal to minimum alpha x and beta y. So in this case, MRS cannot define. Last one, convex indifference curve. So the utility is equal to x over alpha times y over beta plus x over p plus y over p. So total is over 1.5. Next, we will talk about budget constant. Knowing that an individual preference is only first step to analyzing that person consumption behavior. Consumer maximize their well-being subject to constant. The most important constant most of us face in deciding what to consume is our personal budget constant. Let's say we know that people have different level of utility. So if utility is higher, when we go from U1 to U4, what stops us from consuming more? When we say stop, thinking about constant, so one of them is very important is income. Example, we assume that consumers spend their own money on two goods. If Lisa spent all her budget on moving is X and fried chicken is Y. If price of moving is 5 baht and price of fried chicken is 10 baht, we have utility 1 and utility 2 and only have two choices. The first choice is we can get 4 fried chicken and get 3 moving. Second choice, we can get 6 fried chicken and 5 moving. Let's say if Lisa want to consume 3 moving and price of moving is 20 baht and 4 fried chicken, price of fried chicken is 10 baht. So Lisa have to pay 100 baht. And then if Lisa want to consume 5 moving and 6 fried chicken, Lisa have to pay 160 baht. But remember, we have only 100 baht. So we can buy 3 moving and 4 fried chicken, but we cannot buy 5 moving and 6 fried chicken because we don't have enough money to buy. So there is a budget constant. To study budget constant, we assume two things. First, we assume that we spend all money income. And second, we spend on consuming bundle two goods. We assume X and Y. You see that equation is I equal to Px times X plus Py times Y. This is budget constant. I is income and Px times X is the amount to spend in X. Py times Y is amount to spend in Y. So guys, we can draw the graph with these equations. I will send Py times Y to the other side. I will get I minus Py times Y equal to Px times X, and then I will send Px to the other side. To dividing, I will get so if we assume X is equal to 0, I will get Y is equal to I over Py, and then if we assume Y equal to 0, we can get X equal to I over Px. So we can draw the graph. So you can draw the graph like this. You can connect this point to this point, and this is maximum to consume, and this area you can buy good because you have enough money to buy, but this area cannot buy because don't have enough money to buy. And this line is budget constant. Slope is Px over Py. So we call the slope of budget line is the marginal rate of transformation or MRT. The MRT is the rate at which Lisa can tradeหมูปิ้ง for fried chicken in the marketplace when the price that she pay and her income are fixed.
Hello, my name is Pichia Nanlek Singh. My nickname is Peng. My student ID is T22. Today we will talking about constant consumer choice. Okay, we can study utility and budget constraint together. What is the best combination of X and Y to maximize utility? We will finding an interior solution using graph. So X is หมูปิ้ง Y is fried chicken. If have utility and it increase from left to right, we will get this graph. And if think about our budget constant, we can add the budget constant. So then we have our budget constant. This one is I. And we have question is what will be the combination of X and Y that Lisa will choose? And how much X and Y will Lisa consume? So we have assumption. Assumption is 1. She will maximize utility. That means that if she is able to consume UT. But if there is a higher one, she will consume the highest one that is possible for her. If she consume here and she consume here, she will decide to consume at U2 because that will maximize her utility. Assumption 2. She will use all of her income to buy X and Y. That means she is going to use all of her income for to buy X and Y. Basically, this say that she will consume every good that to her budget constraint, and she can maybe consume this X and this Y, or she is going to consume this X and this Y, or she is going to consume this X and this Y, and she will consume the maximum amount that her income allow, and this is will be here in this straight line here in this line in the budget constraint. So in this area here cannot buy because income not enough. Let's see she will choose if have two assumption. Let's look at it one by one. Point A, she consume X1 and Y1, but her utility would get U1, will don't get maximum utility. So she will not prefer at point A. C and B would be better. So let's see point B. Point B, she will be consume X2 and Y2, but utility will be high. U1 is UT, but if she nothing, she have budget constraint is like I, so area high than C, we cannot buy. Point C, she buy XT and YT at U2. U2 higher than U1 make C better A, and we'll see the utility curve touch the income budget constraint at these exact points are tangent to each other. So she can buy xt and yt and at point C is maximum utility subject to budget constraint. So look at point C. Lisa will choose point C because it's the optimal bundle that is on the highest indifferent curve that touches the budget constraint. At point C is the point of utility curve that is tangent to the budget constraint. Utility or indifferent curve is tangent to the budget constraint. That means slope of the indifferent curve equal to the slope of the budget constraint. When we are talking about the slope about the utility, we are saying that is equal to marginal rate of substitution and will equal to marginal rate of transformation. So we call will equal to the MRS, will equal to the MRT. MRS, how much willing to take. MRT, how much take in market. The marginal utility of X divided by the marginal utility of Y negative, which equal to also to the MRT and MRS. We know that is equal to the relative price negative Px over Py. So if we hear that the marginal utility of X over marginal utility of Y is equal to relative price Px over Py. So how this is the way that we can find our optimal value.
Hello, my nickname is Fa.
Okay, Fa, I have question for you.
Yep.
If you can choose food and clothes, which one will you choose?
I will choose food.
Okay, question again. If you have budget 500 baht and have to choose food 50 baht per dish, you will get 10 dish and a clothes 100 baht. You will get 5 pick. Which one will you buy?
Will choose food because the clothes can be worn many times. There is no need to buy a new one, but food must be consumed.
Okay, thank you, Fa.
Thank you, Peng. Hi, what's your name?
My name is
I have 2 questions to interview you. So first, if you can choose food and clothes, which one will you choose?
I will choose food.
And second, if you have budget 500 baht and have 2 choice, and if price of food is 50 baht per dish, you will get 10 dish and a clothes 100 baht. You will get 5 clothes. Which one will you buy?
I will buy food.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a question for you. If you can choose food or clothes, which one will you buy?
I'll buy food.
Question 2. If you have a budget 500 baht and you have to spend it all for food, 50 baht per dish, you will get 10 dish, and for clothes 100 baht per piece, you will get 5 piece. Which one you will buy?
I will buy clothes
Why?
because right now I'm so full. So I decide to buy clothes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, you're welcome.
From the interview, it can be concluded that one each person had different demand for protection. 2. The interview is related to subjects such as preference and budget constraint. Preference is the question is if you can choose food and clothes, which one will you choose? So the answer is depend on the consumer preference. Someone said food, someone said clothes. The consumer spending their money on the bundle of products that gives them the most pleasure. Budget constraint is the question if you have budget 500 baht and have to choice is food 50 baht per dish, you will get 10 dish, and a coat 100 baht, you will get 5 piece. Which one you will buy? The consumer has answered that different. Somebody said I should coat and somebody said I should food. Is not the same. This is a graph of the budget constraint. The consumer spend all of their income to consume goods